Good morning, everybody. Sorry about that. We are here. Thank you all very much for showing up today. We're here to discuss the local law enforcement and external agency law enforcement activity we've been made aware of this week. So I'm going to turn it over to the chief to tell you where we are, what we know.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all. Thanks for being here. The San Antonio Police Department fully supports the right to peacefully demonstrate. We recognize how important it is to protect this fundamental freedom. Our top priority, however, is the safety of everyone involved, demonstrators, bystanders, and officers. We've established protocols to ensure demonstrations are managed safely and effectively. These plans allow for the free expression of First Amendment rights while reducing risks to public safety. If police intervention becomes necessary, it will be carried out according to department policy with strong emphasis on de-escalation and maintaining order. As always, I'm in communication with our state and federal law enforcement partners to coordinate and prioritize public safety for the San Antonio community. We remain committed to keeping the public informed about our actions during these events. Transparency is essential to maintaining the trust and support that we've built in our community. Keeping San Antonio safe is a shared responsibility. I urge all of those who choose to demonstrate to do so peacefully. If you see something suspicious or dangerous behavior, call 911 immediately and move to a safe location.
First, I want to acknowledge the presence of my colleagues. First of all, Councilmember Alderete Gavito from District 7. We also have Chief of the Fire Department, Valerie Frausto here, of course, Chief McManus. We have Maria Villagomez, our Deputy City Manager, and we do have our Mayor-elect, Gino Ortiz-Jones. I'll just make a few statements, then we'll go into questions. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge the anger and frustration that's out there with the federal government's crude interpretations of immigration law and cruel approach to human rights. I empathize with the serious fatigue that this federal administration is causing within our community, but I will reinforce the Chief's call to remain peaceful should you choose to demonstrate this weekend. I also want to offer my full faith and support to both the San Antonio Police Department and the greater San Antonio community to maintain peace and order. I'm confident that San Antonio knows how to do this right. Exercise your right to free speech, but I urge you to keep it lawful and peaceful. Disruption, destruction is never appropriate, nor will it be tolerated. So please be safe, San Antonio. And with that, we'll take questions.
A question, did you request the governor to send the Texas National Guard? Was there any conversation about that? Have any advisement on what happened?
No, sir, and nor did we get any advance warning.
Is this the first time that the National Guard, or the Texas National Guard, has been sent to San Antonio? I couldn't find anything in the past.
Chief, Eric, you want to?
No, we have, it has been a significant amount of time since that's happened. We talked about that yesterday. That has not happened in a very, very long time here in San Antonio.
Do we know how many troops are here and are deployed and how many are here already?
Do I know how many are here? Do we know how many are here? No, not exactly, no.
Do we have a number on how many have been deployed that you can confirm?
No.
Are you concerned about people coming to San Antonio from surrounding cities?
We kind of take everything into account when we plan for these kinds of demonstrations and the possibility of what might happen. So we plan for the worst, and we hope, of course, for the best.
Do you have a line of communication with the Texas National Guard now? You're able to communicate and coordinate?
No. But I will say this, if they happen to be deployed when we're here, we will make, excuse me, we'll make contact with the commander of of that force, and we'll make sure that we know what they're doing and they understand what we're doing.
Does that make you nervous that this is happening, that they're not even talking to you?
I wouldn't say it makes me nervous, no. Do I wish they would? Sure.
Have you seen anything so far that would warrant this kind of response from the protests that have happened already?
No, and I'll say this, that the questions you're asking me about National Guard, I would ask you to direct those questions to the individual who's responsible for deploying them. So I don't have any information about the numbers or what they're going to do or anything like that. So that question is better directed to Austin probably.
Is there,
Chief, you said that they haven't reached out to you, but why not get ahead of it? Because if they deploy them, then you end up reaching out. What's so reactive? Why not get ahead of it and reach out to the folks in National Guard?
They don't have a responsibility to tell me what they're doing, and nor do I have a belief that they have an obligation to do so.
What kind of measures will the department take to ensure that protests are safe and no violence erupts?
Say that again?
What kind of measures will the department take to make sure that protests are safe and no violence erupts?
We are prepared for a peaceful demonstration, but we're also prepared if something goes south and it turns violent.
You mentioned protocols. What type of protocols will you be following?
All the protocols that are mentioned in our general manual about use of force and how to handle civil disturbances.
we're hearing plans for a protest today. What can you tell us about that specifically, time and location, and how have you guys been preparing?
Wait, say that again?
We're hearing about a protest happening tonight.
Yes.
What can you tell us about those details, specifically time and location, and what are you guys doing specifically to prepare for that?
There's a protest tonight at the Alamo, Take Back the Alamo. Again, we are prepared for a peaceful demonstration, but we're also prepared for a demonstration that may turn violent and where property is being destroyed and businesses are being looted. We're planning for the worst, but we don't show that hand. It's the way we handle every demonstration. We're there initially to protect the peaceful, to protect the constitutional rights to express First Amendment.
Have you coordinated with the Guard at all for that protest?
No.
And there's also another protest on Saturday, the No Kings at Travis Park. So this conversation, this public briefing is inclusive of both of you guys?
We are prepared for every demonstration that comes along. We watch the horizon for what's coming up down the road that most people don't even know about, but by the time we know about it.
And your officers have non-lethal type of armaments?
We have everything that we need to handle a demonstration if it turns bad.
Do you plan to speak with Governor Abbott to involve the National Guard or to work together?
Say that again, please.
Do you plan to speak with Governor Abbott to involve the National Guard and work together?
No. Any more questions? Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Mayor,
All right,
are
well-
you concerned at all we're seeing these protests happen across the nation. Some of them are turning violent, including the one that happened in Boston on Monday. Are you concerned that that's going to happen here in San Antonio? Are you confident in our citizens?
Well, as the chief said, we are prepared every day for any scenario. What's a little different here is the operation of external agencies, including the National Guard. But I have full faith and confidence in our community to exercise their First Amendment rights peacefully. We've done that for decades. And I have full faith and confidence in SAPD in maintaining the peace and protecting that right.
So activists have said this is a provocation. Maybe Governor Abbott is trying to provoke some of the protesters into doing something cinematic that would not be good for movement.
Much of this federal administration's work, in my opinion, has been geared towards theater and provocation. So, that witstanding, we'll be prepared. But it's certainly my belief that San Antonio has always stood as a example of how to do things right, and that's what we expect tonight and throughout the week.
Chief, I apologize. Have the organizers and you guys been in contact with each other to make sure that these protests are peaceful?
We do typically work with the organizers before the demonstration begins, yes.
So 5 years ago, during the George Floyd protest, there were some action, some scuffling or whatever interaction with the SAPD and some protesters. Did you learn from that? Or will that experience be deployed this weekend?
Sure, we learn from every experience.
All right, thanks, everybody. We'll be available for individual questions. Appreciate y'all.